तो मैं तिलकराज शर्मा, पीएचडी रिसर्च स्कॉलर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पॉलिटिकल साइंस, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ जम्मू। स्वागत करता हूं अपने यूट्यूब चैनल पे। सबसे पहले दोस्तों, मैं आप सबका धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। आपका जो प्यार हम लोगों को मिल रहा है, जो लाइक्स, जो कमेंट्स आप लोग देते हैं, हम उन हर एक चीज़ को नोटिस में रख के अपनी वीडियोस को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इम्प्रूव करने की कोशिश करते हैं। अपने पिछले लेक्चर में दोस्तों मैं बात कर रहा था फंडामेंटल राइट्स की, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया के पार्ट 3 की, जो कि बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट और बहुत ही रेलेवेंट है आपके किसी भी एग्ज़ामिनेशन को लेके। चाहे ये एग्ज़ाम आपका कोई कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्ज़ाम हो या कोई एकेडमिक का एग्ज़ाम हो, तो मेरी ये कोशिश रहती है कि मैं इस अपने लेक्चर में कॉम्पिटिटिव एज वेल एज एकेडमिक दोनों तरह के पर्सपेक्टिव को कवर करूं। सो बिना टाइम गवाए, बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए मैं शुरू करना चाहता हूँ आपका आज का ये लेक्चर। सो बिफोर स्टार्टिंग दिस, मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी, प्लीज़ मेरे इस वीडियो को, इस लेक्चर को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा शेयर करें और सब्सक्राइब करें। दोस्तों, this is the fundamental right page. I'm using this because there is on one side you can see the Ashoka Chakra and Ashoka symbol, and then the detailed discussion on fundamental rights. So ये पिक्चर मैंने अपनी पिछली स्लाइड में भी यूज़ की थी। क्यों की थी? बिकॉज फंडामेंटल राइट का जो चैप्टर है या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के साथ कोई भी जो इशू आता है, तो उसका गार्जियन जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का है वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया है। तो ये क्वेश्चन भी आपको डायरेक्टली किसी भी एग्ज़ाम में पूछा जाता है, दैट हु इज़ द गार्जियन ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया? सो इट इज़ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया। देन what we will be dealing in under article 14. सो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट इसमें मैंने आपको कहा दैट आर्टिकल 14 इज़ डिवाइडेड इनटू टू एस्पेक्ट। वन इज़ इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ एंड अदर इज़ इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ लॉ। इन्हीं के बीच हम सबसे पहले इंट्रोडक्शन डील करेंगे, देन इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ एंड द एब्सोल्यूट इक्वालिटी, देन देयर इज़ अ डिबेट बिटवीन equality before law and rule of law, then under the equal protection of law, equality a positive concept जिसमें केस रहेगा बसवराज वर्सेस स्पेशल लैंड एक्विजिशन ऑफिसर का, then access to justice, protection against arbitrariness, doctrine of legitimate expectations, then constitutional validity of social special codes, administrative discretion, reasonable classification test and test of reasonable discretion, no equality in illegality, and then in final the conclusion. So after the end of this lecture, you will be able to understand that what the article 14 mean and why it has been introduced in the Constitution of India. So इंट्रोडक्शन में सबसे पहले मैं जो चीज़ें शेयर करूँगा दैट व्हाट एक्चुअली द आर्टिकल 14 मीन्स। सो मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है, इसे प्लीज़ 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 बहुत अच्छे से याद रखिएगा। सिंपली क्वेश्चन इसमें से पूछे जा सकते हैं, मैं वो भी क्वेश्चन अंडरलाइन करूँगा। देखिए, सबसे पहले आर्टिकल 14 जो है, इट स्टेट्स दैट द स्टेट, मैंने आपको क्या कहा था कि फंडामेंटल राइट puts legitimate restrictions, reasonable restrictions upon the state. Okay, so this simply states that the state shall not deny to any person equality before law. यहाँ पर लॉ एज ए सिंगुलर फॉर्म यूज़ किया गया है, दैट स्टेट शैल नॉट डिनाई टू एनी पर्सन इक्वलिटी बिफोर द लॉ एंड और द इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ द लॉज, यहाँ पर प्लूरल सेंस में यूज़ किया गया है। तो इन चीज़ों को बहुत ध्यान से देखना। अब आर्टिकल 14 की ज़रूरत कैसे पड़ी, मैं इस चीज़ को ऊपर लिखा हुआ है दैट इन जनरल सेंस एवरीबॉडी हियर इज़ कैपेबल ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग आर्टिकल 14 ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, ऑलराइट, that says right to equality. Even after now, why it is required and how it is relevant even today, that even after 73 years of independence, our country is not able to gain actual independence. Actual independence is what? That आप इकोनॉमिक फील्ड में इंडिपेंडेंट रहें, आप सोशल फील्ड में इंडिपेंडेंट रहें, और आप एक कंप्लीट फ्रीडम एक हॉलिस्टिक सोसाइटी के सेटअप में एंजॉय कर सकें. नाउ व्हाट आर द हिंड्रेंस ऑफ इन enjoyment of actual independence, like discrimination are still prevailing in our country. All right, अब discriminations क्या हैं? When we talk about the untouchability and its prevalence, when we talk about the religious intolerance, when we talk about the intolerance in sense of sex, in sense of some place of origin, religion, race, custom, etc., and etc. So, by knowing the scenario of India, our constitution maker added Article 14 in the Indian Constitution, and that too as a fundamental right to the citizens as well as those who are not the citizens in our territory. So, why it is required? अभी तक यहाँ पर आपने देखा कि why it is required, because of the discriminations prevailing within the society. So Article 14 basically states that the state shall not deny to any person equality before law, and the second aspect is the equal protection of the law. To treat all citizens equally is the basic concept of liberalism. Liberalism मैंने आपको क्या बोला था, क्या है? That liberalism is a stream of thought which talk about that the individual is rational and can decide what is good and what is bad to for himself. So Article 14 ensure the same to all its citizens. The liberty of any person is directly connected with the liberty and the equality of other people. So Article 14, when I talk about the Article 14, please note that first it talk about the equality before law, which is British in origin, then the equal protection of law, and then thirdly the access to justice. When we talk about the equality before law, so equality before law is not an absolute in sense, and then similar to rule of law. Rule of law, I said, concept given by A.V. Dicey, and A.V. Dicey talk about the rule of law. Then equal protection of law is a positive concept, all right, and then under the access to justice is the equality in front of judicial system. So this I hope you be able to understand. Then first I will talk about what equality before law means and how it is being, throughout various judgments, the Supreme Court and even the High Courts maintained its relevance as such. Our country, as we all know, is a democratic country, and in fact the largest democratic country in the world. Here all are independent to think about anything, do anything, and our state is there to put reasonable restrictions also. So in the eyes of law, all persons within the territory of the country should be treated equally. Like for example, if a crime is committed by any minister, any in the political power, or any person belonging to a rich elite class or elite section, and by anyone who is being aggrieved with poverty, can be treated equally. So equality before law basically means that all persons should be treated equally, no matter whether they are poor or rich, I said, without any class privilege, caste privilege, or sex or place of birth, male or female, upper caste or lower caste. The state cannot provide any special privilege to anyone in the country. It is also known as legal equality. So, अगर क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए कि what in the constitution or which article in the constitution talk about legal equality also, so it is Article 14 under equality before law. Now the next topic is equality before the law and absolute equality. Please note this, it is very complex term and very tough to understand. Now, on the one hand, equality before law prohibits providing any special privilege to any community or people. So, when we talk about the equality before law, and it prohibit any special privilege to anyone. So it does not talk about equal treatment in equal circumstances. All right. According to it, there must be a very ideal condition, and the state does not need to interfere in society by providing additional privileges in any society. सो ऑन द अदर हैंड दिस मतलब ऑन द वन हैंड आई थिंक आपको ये समझ आया कि स्टेट क्या करती है, किसी कम्युनिटी को, किसी लोगों को या किसी को भी अपने इंडियन लैंड के ऊपर, इंडियन टेरिटरी के ऊपर किसी को कोई स्पेशल प्रिविलेज नहीं देती है. बट ऑन द सेम हैंड it does not talk about equal treatment in equal circumstances. So on the other hand, right to equality is not absolute, क्योंकि यहाँ पर ये चीज़ें आ रही हैं सर्कमस्टांसेस वाली, एंड हैज़ सेवरल एक्सेप्शन टू इट. अब ये एक्सेप्शन क्या है, अब यहाँ पर देखिएगा. अकॉर्डिंगली equals should be treated equally. Equality before law has several exceptions. For example, अब देखना ये exceptions क्या क्या हैं. The immunity provided to the president and the governor, because they are being free, they cannot be asked to present and कि किसी भी कोई भी कोर्ट में अगर कुछ ऐसा उनके खिलाफ चल रहा है तो उनको इम्यूनिटी प्रोवाइडेड है कि वो कोर्ट में नहीं आएंगे. सो रिजर्वेशन इज ऑल्सो अ टिपिकल एग्जाम्पल दैट डिफाइन द राइट टू इक्वालिटी इज नॉट एब्सोल्यूट. रिजर्वेशन क्या है? एफर्मेटिव एक्शन है. एफर्मेटिव एक्शन उन क्लासेस को, उन कास्ट को मिलता है. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे यहाँ पर न्यूली जो गवर्नमेंट ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया इकोनॉमिक एंड वीकर सेक्शन के लिए 10% रिजर्वेशन का. सो दैट इज़ टू प्रोवाइड एफर्मेटिव एक्शंस टू प्रोवाइड व्हाट वी कॉल, एक उनको एक लेवल पे लाने के लिए उनको ये रिजर्वेशन मिलती है. हालांकि उसके ऊपर डिफरेंट ओपिनियन हो सकते हैं, बट under the condition of equality and under the article and talking about the equality before law, the reservation is justified. It is not absolute and can be restricted or rather used properly according to the need of the society. Please note this. अब यहाँ पर एक बहुत बड़ा एक फेमस केस है, इन अ वेरी फेमस केस ऑफ स्टेट ऑफ बंगाल वर्सेस अनवर अली सरकार. द क्वेश्चन ऑफ, अभी इस केस में क्वेश्चन क्या उठता है? द क्वेश्चन ऑफ वेदर द राइट टू इक्वालिटी इज एब्सोल्यूट और नॉट वॉज रेज्ड. एब्सोल्यूट है या नहीं है, ये क्वेश्चन रेज किया गया. हियर सुप्रीम कोर्ट हेल्ड अप. सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या कहता है? दैट द राइट टू इक्वालिटी इज नॉट एब्सोल्यूट. सो इन दिस केस, यहाँ पर क्या इस केस में जजमेंट आती है कि राइट टू इक्वालिटी इज नॉट एब्सोल्यूट. अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या बोलता है? इन दिस केस द स्टेट ऑफ बंगाल was found to use its power arbitrarily to refer any case to the special court which was made by them. It was thus held that the act of the state of Bengal violates the right to equality. Then equality before law and the rule of law. This is very important. Please understand this. I said rule of law is a British origin and concept given by A.V. Dicey. सो A.V. डाइसी जो ब्रिटिश कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एक्सपर्ट हैं, उनका ये कॉन्सेप्ट है. वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस द राइट इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ इन डिटेल. हाउएवर देयर इज ऑल्सो डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन बिटवीन इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ एंड द रूल ऑफ लॉ. In fact, the rule of law which is given by Professor Dicey says that no one here is beyond or above the law and is equal in front of law. Rule of law guarantees every person the equality before law. Simple it is. The rule of law states that in a country all should be treated equally, and as there is no state religion, so it should not discriminate against any religion. So here the concept of uniformity should be applied. Basically it is derived from Magna Carta. Magna Carta का कब आया कॉन्सेप्ट? 1215 AD में. कहाँ आया? इंग्लैंड में. सो इंग्लैंड का जो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मैग्ना कार्टा है, तो यहाँ पर उसको स्पेस दी गई, विच प्रोहिबिट द आर्बिट्रेरी पावर्स ऑफ द स्टेट. सिंपल इट इज. सो द इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ द laws, this is American model. This is one of the positive concept of equality. So that was negative and this is positive. Equal protection of the law is incurred from section 1 of the 14th amendment of the constitution. Please note this, section 1 of 14th amendment of the US constitution. So according to this principle, everybody who resides in India should be treated equally and will get equal protection of the laws. It guarantees all people inside the territory of India should be treated equally and state cannot deny it. All right, for equal protection of law. So it puts the positive obligation on the state to prevent the violation of the rights. So the concept of positive obligations. So this can be done by bringing socio-economic changes. Please note this, socio-economic changes. The same concept has been discussed in Stephen College versus University of Delhi case. So in this case, the admission process of college was checked and the main issue raised was the validity of preference given to Christian students in admission process. Here the Supreme Court held that the minority institutions which is receiving aid from the state funds, Article 29, please note this, is entitled to grant preference and to reserve seats for the students of its community. So the Supreme Court held that the differential treatment of candidates in the admission program does not violate Article 14 of the Indian Constitution and it is needed for the minority section. So what is here the term used? Differential treatment. Please note this. This is the term raised by Supreme Court in justification of Article 14B. Article 14 subsection B. So equality, a positive concept. Basavaraj versus Special Land Acquisition Officer. Please note this. In a famous case of Basavaraj versus Special Land Acquisition Officer, where the appellant went to Supreme Court for the unsatisfactory decision of High Court of Karnataka. Please note this. According to the appellant, the High Court committed an error by not condoning the delay as there were enough reason for them to be not able to reach the High Court on time. It is well established legal proposition that Article 14 of the Indian Constitution is not there to create perpetual illegality, even by extending the previous wrong decisions. It was held that here the appellant was negligent on their part as the appellant was not able to show the sufficient cause for delay and their appeal was rejected. So now the concept of access to justice, the third point which I need to mention. By equality before law, it means everyone has access to justice. All right. No one can be barred from access to justice. Here all should be treated equally in front of judicial system. The word access to justice includes some basic rights of a person. By term access to justice, we mean that every person should have the right to appear in the court. Also, there are many people who are deprived of access to justice due to economic knowledge or due to lack of awareness. Here it means that the government needs to play a vital role in providing justice to them. Like for example, our state is providing free legal aid to the people. For granting access to justice, we need to reform our judicial system. We need to work on the legal aid system as well. Then the protection against arbitrariness. There is a thin line of difference between arbitrary and non-arbitrary actions. Please note this, arbitrary and non-arbitrary action. The right to equality prevent the arbitrary actions of the state. So this article speaks about the equal protection of law. and it is against the doctrine of arbitrariness. For protection against the arbitrariness, there are several restrictions put on every organ of the state. Several restrictions, please note this. It is an important part to prevent the organ of the state from making any arbitrary decisions. Now, what is important is to understand the doctrine of legitimate expectations. Legitimate expectations, please note this. The doctrine of legitimate expectations is basically not a legal right. It's not a legal right, but rather it is moral obligation on the part of administration to look and make laws that provide equality to all the people in the territory. It gives right of judicial review in administrative law to protect the interest of the people. What is judicial review? What I told earlier, that Supreme Court and High Court under Article 32 and 226 can declare any law unconstitutional, ultra vires, or null and void if they found it as antithesis of the opposite to the constitutional and its provisions. When public authority fails to do so, what actually the public authority here means? The people who are occupying the public positions, the government positions. So it act as a bridge between the expectations of individuals and any act of the authority. Suppose if I am expecting that my government should behave like this and should act which is very जो मुझे अच्छा लगता है वैसा वो करें, लेकिन when they react opposite in its opposite sense, it simply means that it is arbitrary to what my expectations are. So however, these expectations needed to be reasonable and logical. Expectations अब ये नहीं है कि मुझे अगर जॉब नहीं, मतलब सपोज इफ आई एम सीकिंग ए जॉब दैट इट मीन्स दैट इफ आई एम क्वालिफाइड फॉर दैट, so it is reasonable, but if I am not qualified, I am claiming to being appointed for that position, it is not reasonable and it's illogical to ask. So why they are called legitimate expectations? There are several instruments provided by the court for achieving the motive of authoritative law. So here motive is to meet the legitimate expectations. So these instruments are provided to prevent everyone against the misuse of power by the organs of the states. So it put a type of restrictions on the state to use its power arbitrarily. Then the constitutional validity of special courts. Please note this. So it was discussed earlier that equality before law is not absolute, ऊपर हमने डिस्कस किया, and has several exceptions to Article 246(2). In one of such exceptions, Article 246(2) states that Article 246 क्या कहता है? Notwithstanding anything in Class 3, Parliament, and subject to Class 1, the legislature of any state also have power to make law with respect to any of the matter enumerated in List 3 in the 7th schedule. The validity of special courts which were established under Special Court Act has been questioned, and the Special Courts Bill versus Unknown case. It was questioned whether the formation of special courts under this act was not violating Article 14 of the Indian Constitution. So it was held that there were reasonability and logicality information of these special courts, so these courts are constitutionally valid. Then administrative discretions, please note this. It is the freedom of administration to react or to decide any situation according to the circumstances. Here it becomes important for one to understand the term discretion first. Discretion is generally describe the understanding of any person to decide what is wrong and what is right, what is true and what is false, etc., and reacting to these situations accordingly. So next, I would like to explain the need of administrative discretion. The legislature legislates any law on many presumptions and it cannot exactly foresee everything that is going to take place because that law. The main purpose of administrative discretion is to maintain equality. Please note this. Maintain equality in all sections of the society. However, this administrative discretion should not go beyond the line and should be used with proper care. The discretion may be amount to arbitrariness. Then the reasonable classification test. Please note this. Reasonable discretion and its classification test. The case is Ramakrishna Dalmia versus Justice Tendolkar. The Supreme Court described the jurisdiction of jurisprudence of equality before law. The test to determine whether conducts of the state are constitutionally valid or not. The very famous classification test has been given in this case only. Classification test was given into Ramakrishna Dalmia and the versus Justice Tendolkar. In this case only. Here the High Court held that the government can make a commission to inquire a case when it is necessary to do so. Here the main purpose of the government is to make any commitment to help matter of public importance. इट्स द केस. आपको याद क्या रखना है? क्लासिफिकेशन टेस्ट, डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन टेस्ट और केस को. रामकृष्ण दालमिया वर्सेस जस्टिस तेंदुलकर केस. Here the main purpose of the government is to make any commitment to help matters of public importance. It's a case of administrative discretion. Here ultimately the freedom to make any decision rests in the hands of the government. In this case also it was held that the actions of the government are reasonable and justified by rule of law. Reasonability and rule of law. The Supreme Court decided that in any political democracy where the term equality we mean social and economic equality. Please note this, that Supreme Court elaborated the meaning of equality, social and economic equality. There is no other kind of equality and the state should ensure this social and economic justice at any cost. Then the concept of reasonable discretion. In a very famous of Oregano Chemical Industries versus Union of India, the petitioner filed a petition under Article 32 of the Constitution against the order Regional Provident Fund Commissioner, which imposed a high penalty under Section 14B of the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Acts 1952 for the delay payment of the employees' provident funds and family pension of their employees. Here the conflict arises between Section 14B of the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1942 and Article 14 of the Indian Constitution. Here the government was directed to provide remedy allocable to the fund so that the damage may be compensated. Section 14, please note this, Section 14B states the right of the Central Provident Fund Commissioner or such other officer as may be authorized by the central government to recover damages from the employer who have failed in the contribution to the fund provided that such employer has given enough chances to be heard before recovering such damage. So this section also provide that their damage can be waived if there is a sick industrial company by the central board. Here the court held that in this case the government has the arbitrary used this section which is beyond the reasonable discretion of the government and is a type of violation of Article 14. Then no equality in legality. There cannot be equality before law for the person who is a wrongdoer. A person who is doing illegal acts cannot ask for right to equality in front of the court or the judicial system. The case of Baliram Prasad Singh versus State of Bihar of Patna High Court clearly explain that there cannot be equality for illegal acts as the petitioner was himself at fault. Therefore, he was made to compensate for this illegal act. when we talk about the conclusion, so let's conclude this case of Article 14, that Article 14 primarily divided into three aspects. One is the justice, then this is the rule of law under the banner of equality before law, and then the equal protection of law. So when we talk about the rule of law, it means without any specific condition, everyone is bound to obey the law and is able to, sue and get sued with certain exceptions. Now, the exception in this category of rule of law and equality before law is the president and the governor, Raj Pramukh, governor of the state. Then, when we talk about the equal protection of laws simply talk about the affirmative actions. This is American in origin, affirmative actions that the state can, it's positive actually, it's not negative, it's positive actually, that the state can take certain actions which can provide the, the marginalized sections certain privileges. So the Article 14 establishes the social and economic equality in the society, and it ensure the social and economic justice to the people. So I hope you may be able to understand the Article 14, which ensure the social and economic justice and equality, but also certain exceptions put given to uh, the people on the land of India, may it be the citizens or may it be the foreigners. So Article 14 is the very important fundamental right under the Constitution of India, and it formulate the one of the important aspect of the golden triangle it is being created, on which my next video will be there. And please, and be there in the comment box. Please subscribe my channel and hit the like button. Thank you so much guys.